shul that I know of as Kehillat Yaakov. In Ivrit it's Kehillat Yaakov. This gentleman has a very interesting story to tell. He actually lives with his wife Sue in the East End of London, and this shul represents something that's very special to him. It also represents something very special to me, which is something I'm going to talk to you about later by means of lots of objects that I actually have here. I'm going to get you to do a little bit of thinking, first of all, okay? And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give out some objects. Please be aware, these are not copies, these are real. They're very old and they're very precious, okay? I'm going to ask you, with the person sitting next to you or the people sitting next to you, to have a look. I'm not going to tell you anything about them, and to see if you can construct a story based around the objects I'm giving you. Think about what it is, what it might be, and any kind of thing you can tell us about it. I had no idea we had that document still. That's my grandparents' wedding certificate, and they got married here. Right, so you can tell us all about it in a minute, Natey. It's handwritten, as you can see. But actually, they made a mistake on it, which is very unusual for Keturah, and they had to actually cross it out. Very unusual.
What does it say?
I'm going to tell you what it says. Actually, on the back, it tells you in English what most of it says.
Can you tell me what you're seeing?
Well, one of the words says house.
What
That means babaye in the house. I can't really recognise any of the other words.
What do you think it is?
It might be like script or caution, prayer, maybe.
So what it's saying here is what he learned to get his smicha, yeah? And the Midrash, Gagada, which is the Mishnayos and collection of parables, yeah? Sorry?
Right, so we've got here English and what else has been printed on paper? Found it, I'm coming. This is my dad's identity card. This is where they live.
That's right.
They lived at 45 Lucan
So we
Street.
can have a look at it.
They were bombed and they were bombed out and put in 358 Commercial Road.
It's from 1924. It looks like it's going to fall apart if I'm really not careful. It's a Jewish newspaper, so we've got the JC now. This was the Jewish World. I thought there weren't any photographs in it, but there's some photos in the middle, and we found Schutz's great uncle. That's right, in the middle of it. On the back of it, there's adverts here for kosher holidays in Eastbourne, Margate, two of them in Margate, Blackpool. Theatre performances, so obviously the community was into going out and having a nice time and were involved in everything. And some kosher biscuit adverts. And there were cost of houses in here. Boys, do you remember what we said the houses cost? What was it per year to rent a really big house?
600,000.
Say that again, Ari? £150 to rent a 4-bedroom house we found here for a whole year. And if you wanted to buy a 5-bedroom house, so that's bigger than a lot of us have got. Do you remember what that one was? 2,600.
And the Jews straight away in 1924 wanted to get out of this area. They wanted to better themselves and move on. And there were houses for sale in Stamford Hill. There was a house for sale in Golders Green in Dunstan Road. Dunstan Road now is almost completely Jewish. But even back in 1924, the Jews wanted to move out of here into Golders Green. There's a house in St John's Wood, and there are lots and lots of houses in Stamford Hill. And the houses cost anything from £1,700 to, I saw one for £2,700. And when you think now, as we were saying, the average house in Gants Hill is £300,000. So the Jewish people had come here. This was where they landed when they arrived from Eastern Europe, and they lived here. Some of them were so poor that on the front page of this paper there's an appeal. They needed to raise £12,000 to help poor Jews. Because the Jews came here, they had absolutely nothing. They'd left everything behind them when they ran away from Eastern Europe. Some of them came with a bag. Some of them came with 2 candlesticks. Some of them came with a siddur. Some of them came carrying the Sefer Torah. They landed here, and this is where they lived. And gradually, most of our families, if you ask your parents, most of our families started out here. And gradually, as they got more money, they moved out of here. And all those other communities that we saw as we were walking along have moved in. And this is a place about journeys, and this is what we're talking about.
Beauty, you see from the top there, when we daven or lane, the sun comes through. And it's like, come up here, and above it you've got the glass has been restored back to its original format. And as you can see my table, which Philip said in the Sefer Balak, which was spread a few weeks ago, how goodly your tents of the congregation of Israel. Melanie, do you want me to...
What we'd like to do, Dave, if we can, is show them the women's gallery.
Sure. Do you want to see the Sefer Torah? All these Sefer Torah, we've got 8, one's being worked upon by Cypher. But these are over 100 years old, most of them. So we've had to work hard to get all these back to a condition that makes it kosher. And as you can see, there's a very small Sefer Torah that was donated Sephardi type. And so when obviously Simchas Torah will have a little person, a little baby or a child, we give them that to hold. But we use all the Sefer Torah, and the one that's being worked on will be back in a few months, hopefully. The flooring is about 7 years ago, and we had electrical.
That's where they speak. That's where I see down there. And like they say, the prayers and stuff. Olivia, is it true that Patricia's parents got married here? Yeah, apparently they were the second people to get married in the show. That's very convenient. And is it true that this is one of the last synagogues in the East End? I think it's the only synagogue left in the East End, but it's very well looked after. It's in a very good condition and in very good hands. I think this is where the lifestyle of the mitzvah. This is where the mitzvah would sit.
Okay.
And this is the ark. It's in memory of Abraham Waddle, who died in 1926.
Okay.
Upstairs is obviously where the women sit, because it's an Orthodox synagogue, so women and men are separate. And if there wasn't someone to do minyan, he would go out on the streets and ask people if they were Jewish and if they would do minyan that day. And then they would obviously come in and do it. But if they didn't find someone, they would obviously start later.
Talk to me while we were making
In
move.
the early 1900s, this place used to be very popular, and now they're trying to make it more like this now. And there were a few problems. There was someone who fell through the roof. There was water coming through the doors and other stuff, but still, it's a much safer place now. So, yeah, it's been a nice visit. How about you, Olivia?
When they first came here, it was in terrible condition. There was leaks, the floors were disgusting, which is why David didn't want to be minister. But then obviously he wanted it all refurbished, and now he's like minister, and he's been minister for 25 years. And his parents were also helped build the one that used to be across the road. It's obviously not there anymore, so they built that one, and now he's minister there.
So do you think you're going to come back to the synagogue sometimes?
Then, yeah,
Will you come back to the synagogue? Is that?
We have the chance.
Did you like it?
Yeah, it's a very, very beautiful synagogue. It might be quite small, but it's a very beautiful synagogue.